Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chicken is here. We're back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about should critter launchers be removed from the game. There's a little bit of back and forth in, I don't know, just the community, and we were talking on OP stream the other day about this topic, so I thought it would be a good idea for a video. I have not really checked in on Warships today. It's been a busy, crazy day, so yeah, we're going to take a look at the leaderboards and all that stuff, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to use that code CHICKEN in the shop. I do appreciate you. And yeah, so let's get into it. So first off, I'll start off with where we're at and leaderboard watch and all that good fun stuff. It actually is moving pretty quickly today, which I think is to be expected on kind of some of the last few days of the season. My guess is, as everybody has equal tech now, it's going to slow down, but we'll see. So right now we're holding on to 298. So we dropped about 50 spots from yesterday in the span of 24 hours. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say for certain. So usually Canada's a good judge. Number 19 in Canada, that's really far down there. Typically I park around number 10, so we may have to go back in, but like we said, that's the benefit of the 6 chests, right? We get an extra day to just kind of wait and not be penalized. But at the same time, I mean, we don't really need that much else from the tech tree. Like, we can get 2 sniper towers and, you know, mechs, which aren't really going to help us at this point. The 3rd shock launcher will be good. And a bunch of extra mines. So I'd probably go 3rd shock launcher. I guess the 2 sniper towers and then probably 4 shock mines for the seekers would be the best bet. But obviously we have not gone back in since yesterday. So yeah, critter launchers. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Critter launchers, critter launchers, critter launchers. Now, here's the thing. To sum this up, you know, kind of, I'll show some hits from yesterday that I didn't show. To sum this up, kind of, you know, what we're talking about. You know, I think critter launchers can work in a tech tree. I don't think they necessarily need to be removed from the game. I think that's kind of drastic. If they make like a proper tech tree and they balance the critter launchers properly, then I don't see them being an issue, right? I don't see that, you know, being a huge problem. The problem comes when there's too much defensive building damage, when they're paired with the sky shield, and when we can get them super early on. You know, before we get shock bombs, before we have, you know, all the kind of tools to deal with them. So the argument against this is typically, well, you need more, you know, it just means you need more skill to play and get around them. Sure, that's fine. I'm not talking about the top 50 players. I'm not talking about even the top 500 players. They're going to do what they're going to do, and that's why they're, you know, where they're at each and every season. The problem I see is from the game as a whole, like the gameplay perspective. It just turns people off of the game when it becomes not fun. You know, the people that want to grind and get to the top, they're going to find a way to do it, right? The problem is when it turns new people off of the game that aren't given the tools to deal with them and don't really know what they're doing, you know, to start off with. Like, if someone's just picking up warships for the first time and they go against a base that's got 3 critter launchers under a sky shield and they throw all heavies against it and they just fizzle instantly, you know, that's not fun. That's not a good experience, and that's not going to leave them wanting to come back. They're going to say, oh, well, I'm either A, really bad at this game, or this game isn't fun to play, and they drop it. So, for me, I think that's the bigger issue with the critter launchers, is that they can just be too strong depending on where they're at in the tech tree and what we have to deal with them. So I think, you know, the easy way around this is, yeah, they could do a multitude of things. They could change how the critter launchers work. They could change, you know, are they in warships at all or not? But I think it really just comes down to balancing the tech tree properly. This season was so bad because they copied season, season 44? It was basically the same tech tree with a couple changes. And it was, you know, they, for whatever reason, they chose to copy, like, the worst tech tree in the history of the game. And that just, you know, and with the early critter launch, it just made everything that much worse. So I think that they can work, and, you know, they have worked before. It's just they got to do a couple things. I think leaving them till at least past 5 ER when we typically have more offensive stuff to deal with them is always a good bet. I think pairing them with a Sky Shield, if you're going to do that early on, I don't think that's I don't think they should ever do that. I think they should never pair critter launchers, 3 ERs, and a Sky Shield all together. If they want to get close to that, fine, whatever, go do it. But just don't have all three of them at the same time, because then you're going to have that problem, and it's going to be that much more, apparent. And yeah, so if they can avoid doing that, I think that would be big. Yeah, so basically to say that they can work, it's just got to be a balanced tech tree and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's tough to say because in Warships, I was talking about this a little bit yesterday, but in Warships, it's so like it's hard to say anything definitively, right? Like, oh, this is good and this is bad, or this is bad and this is good. It's like, well, the answer really is it depends. Like outside of like heavy choppers or some other things, it's like there's some things that are set in stone that are always good, but for the most part it depends on the tech tree, right? Like that's why it's so interesting, that's why it's so fun to play, is because it's always different. So if we start to have some of the same things every season, then it starts to lose a little bit of that magic, right, that draws us in, that makes it exciting to play. Because really, when you look at it, when you think about it, there's not really a game out there like Warships right now. Let's show a defense. This one was very close. But yeah, so... Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. So I wanted to read some of your guys' feedback from the community and just kind of go over that. So Lincoln Eagle says, I don't think they need to completely get rid of critter launchers. It has made me use a different attack strategy. They need to either put them later on in the tech tree or give us something to counter them earlier, like laser rangers. So I think that sums it up basically too, and it kind of goes with what I was saying. You need certain things to go with critter launchers to make the game more fun and to make it more enjoyable. Some of those things are shock bombs and laser rangers. Those should always be paired together, right? So Rolling Freak says critter launchers are okay. It's bad to bring them in before you have much offense. Some of these are fairly similar. As far as critter launchers, this is DK Civic 01. They're incredibly frustrating and need to stay in the game. It just provides one more obstacles to strategize against and with. Now, there's certain times I wish Supercell actually put thought into them in the tech tree. See Season 44 3-yard deck layout with the Sky Shield. So, yeah, that's the thing. Is in the last few seasons, we've really experienced this. All of these, like, Season 40-ish tech trees, they've all had this horrible fizzle meta in 3 and 4 yards. And, the thing is fizzling's not a terrible thing. It's bad when you can't get any engines. Whenever you can't get any engines, that's always bad. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's a bad gameplay experience. That's the thing, is it leaves people not wanting to play the game because they go for 10 minutes and then they can't get a single engine. They're like, well, I just wasted 10 minutes. I didn't make any progress. Because at least in Warships, you can always get your chest and move forward to the next tech. If you're unable to do that, it just becomes really not enjoyable, right? So that's really the biggest thing. So I hope that you guys let me know in the comments. I mean, what do you feel about the critter launchers and that kind of stuff? But I hope that going forward, we're not going to have as many of these issues. I'm going to try to communicate it to Supercell as well. But you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Catch you next one, guys. Chicken out. Bye.